I'm not sure what new light I can shed on this part of Louisiana we know as Acadiana. I'm certainly not the first wide-eyed foreigner to come here ready to stuff my face with boudin, crawfish, and seafood, and I won't be the last. But oh, viewer, dear viewer, yes, you can really not appreciate this through my terrible editing and commentary. The one thing I have to tell you is you must come here and see this place for yourself. This is a land of dichotomy. I've never felt more at home and more like a tourist than I have here. One moment, this place fits like an old pair of jeans, and the next, I'm putting my foot in my mouth faster than the boudin balls. Maybe it's the flat farmland and the rice, yes, the rice, because I am, in fact, a rice farmer. This makes sense to me. Then someone will say something in that glorious accent so thick, I have no idea what's happening. And I look as out of place as popcorn in an M&M bag. I'm lost as last year's Easter eggs, and we all know how that's going to turn out. The farmland here seems divided by I-10. North of I-10, the harvested rice fields are being flooded back up in anticipation of those little muddy miniature lobsters we all love. There's no corn or beans or any kind of rotation. It's just rice and crawfish. Nothing else. But then you pass some magical line and all of a sudden it's all sugarcane. Acre after acre of a multi-year crop, so there's little or no rotation. In Crowley, rice is king. Its influence is everywhere. In the 1890s, people were already growing rice for personal use, and the gritty settlers learned how to irrigate larger tracts of land. Sol Wright developed a new strain of rice that could hold up better to the wild Louisiana weather, and an industry was born. That rice farm, the Crystal Rice Plantation, is still in existence today and is open for tourists. Crowley's more than the French Creole town. It's named, in fact, for an Irishman. And the gas station I'm at, Exit 80 Truck Stop, is owned by one of the earliest families to settle in Crowley, the Gallon family. John Dan Gallon migrated to Crowley in the early 1900s from Lebanon and opened a small grocery store. J.D. Gallon III grew that into a convenience store business with over 1,000 employees. I'm at the Rice Palace, and that's part of the empire, and quite frankly, a pretty nice place as far as truck stops go. Today is chicken and sausage piquant over, well, you guessed it, rice. Next, we're going across the interstate to Bourbon Street Deli, just across 10. That's a chain of gas stations, also owned by the Gallon family, and it has really good New Orleans-style food. We're going to try the muffaletta. This is a full-service, very nice restaurant. And today, they're having chicken and sausage piquant, which I've never had. It smells so good. There's a ton of history in Louisiana, and there's a ton of history about rice, especially around the Crowley area. And I'm a rice farmer, so I'm all over this. And it just so happens that all the ground around here was specifically kind of perfect for rice. So rice has been huge for several generations down in this area. And as I drove into town from Eunice, Louisiana, it was rice fields being reflooded back up this time of year. It's October, it's actually November now, being reflooded for the crawfish. And they farm rice a little different than we do. They use really big levees, and we use a lot smaller levees, but it all looks cut to grade like what we have. And I know I'm talking a little inside baseball on rice, but it's funny to see how much different it is. Other than that, it looks exactly the same. I can't wait to open this box. Oh, wow. Y'all, that smells so good. I think there's a tomato base to this. This sausage looks amazing. Man, this is man food right here. This plate weighs like 5 pounds. I can't wait to take a bite. How you doing? Yeah. By the way, lights out on this. It's almost like a stew, you know what I mean? On top of this rice. The chicken is just cooked down to nothing. This is so good. This was the Monday plate lunch, by the way. But when I say this place is full service, they do steaks at night, ribeyes and that kind of stuff. Like, I don't even have to eat anything else. I already know how good this is going to be a high score. Let's check out, I see onion and corn, carrots, and big old pretty peas in here. That's good too. This is comfort food, is what this is. Anytime something is smothered over rice, it's comfort food to me. Hats off to whoever cooked this. They did a fantastic job. Very nice restaurant connected to a gas station. Like, y'all, I could legitimately hurt myself with this. This is so good. The sausage is great. The chicken is great. This is one of those dishes that they didn't cook this for 30 minutes. This cooked for hours. I'll be honest. I'll be 100% honest with you. I put this on the list because it's called the Rice Palace. And I thought, I got to go to a place that's called the Rice Palace. Honestly, not that many rice dishes on the menu. But Mondays, this is out of sight. And by the way, Crowley, Louisiana, at one point, there was more rice milled in Crowley, Louisiana than anywhere else in America. A ton of rice was milled here. No pun intended. I mean, way more than a ton, but man, this is so good. But right now, I'm at Bourbon Street Deli, which happens to be in this X sign that's behind me. And they are known, one of the things they're known for is their muffalata. I have never had a muffalata at a gas station, so this is gonna be really interesting. Although, I gotta throw this out there. There is a muffalata at a gas station in Mississippi. Pertizzi's Grocery has a great muffalata. And this one looks really, really good. I got it cold. I like it both ways. I like it hot and I like it cold, but I got this one cold. It looks really good. That olive salad looks amazing. It's all falling off the sandwich. It's dripping on my hand, which is what you want. Let's go dive in on this thing and see how good it is. Now, I was told this was as good as Central Grocery. It's really good. It's not Central Grocery good. I'm not sure why. I think there's not as much olive salad as the Central Grocery one has. It is, if you look at one from Central Grocery, the bread is just soaked, you know, with that olive oil. Still a really good muffalata. But in my mind, I'm just trying to compare it to the one at Central. All kind of cool stuff and a lot of fresh stuff. They do what they call a stuffed waffle at breakfast. It's supposed to be really, really good. It's lunchtime. You guys know I don't do a lot of breakfast reviews anyway. All kind of po' boys, roast beef, shrimp. They had a fried shrimp salad that looked really good. If you're in Crowley, Louisiana, and you're looking for a good place to stop real quick right off the interstate, check this place out. It's really good. I enjoyed it.
To my surprise, the word Boudin is not native to Acadiana. It's in fact first mentioned by a Greek cook known as Aphrodite, and later in the Odyssey. Its rice-filled Acadiana version came from France via Nova Scotia a few hundred years ago. Some believe it began as a blood sausage, with the rice being added later. Today you can still get the blood version, but most is pork. Think of it as dirty rice stuffed into an animal casing then steamed. They call this hot Boudin. It's traditionally eaten by cutting the casing and squeezing the contents onto a saltine cracker. It seems, however, everyone now loves the Boudin balls. You can also get Boudin smoked, or with a variation of seafood or even deer. Everyone has their favorite, with each stand using slightly different seasonings. But I can tell you this, it's all good. You can literally stop at any gas station, at any stand, and you'll find really good Boudin. And don't forget the cracklings. At almost every stand, at almost every gas station, you find cracklings. These are not the sad little strips of skin hermetically sealed in a bag, but cubes of pork belly with attached skin. These things are a meal in themselves. They've got meat on them. My favorite on this trip was Mawata store just outside Eunice. Not a gas station, but so good, I just had to mention it. My first stop was Hebert's in Opelousas, then Best Stop Express in Deucin, and of course, Billy's Boudin in Lafayette. These were all home runs. I'm in Opelousas, Louisiana, where Boudin and crackling are king, and I gotta tell you, ever since you hit Lafayette, and every exit advertises best Boudin, best crackling in Louisiana. It's early morning, I'm way ahead of schedule, I'm starving, I didn't eat dinner last night. I got one link of Boudin. I love that everywhere you go, they cut it with a pair of scissors. I didn't know that's what they did. But it's hot Boudin, ready to go. Little link for breakfast. I'm ready to dig in, man. I can't take it any longer. Let's check this stuff out. I didn't get any crackers, which I wish I had. Let's check this out. They had some huge Boudin balls in there too. That does not suck. Good God, let me just tell you. Boudin, the way they make it, I don't actually eat the casing. I take the Boudin out of the casing like that and eat it with a cracker usually. A little bit of a spice, not much. Man, there's a lot of flavor in that. God, I mean, I've got a list of places I'm going to go down here, and this place is not on the list. Perfect amount of heat. Perfect on the heat. That's as good as a Boudin as I've had. You can see the seasonings in it. God, what a great breakfast. That is the breakfast of champions. Wearing the True South gear again today, and I'll tell you why. I'm at the Best Stop Express. Now, if you've seen one of the recent episodes of True South, they were in the original Best Stop in Scott, Louisiana. But today, I am in Deucin, and right here is Best Stop Express, which is a gas station. So I can do it, and it still be the gas station review. So originally, I was going to go in, I was going to get some regular Boudin, which I already know is going to be good. Eat it with some saltine crackers. But they had some stuff I wanted to try that might be different. Their Boudin is incredible. I got a few cracklings, and I got a couple of other things here too that I want to try out. One of them is what they call a Boudin wrap, which is an egg roll paper with the Boudin in it. And then I got a Boudin ball as well. So one of the things I've noticed, their Boudin balls are the size I kind of like. I've been seeing a lot of them that are like that big around. We're going to try some of those soon. I want to start with the pork crackling today. And the pork cracklings, I just got a few heavily seasoned. These are way more seasoned than the other ones I've been seeing. There's a difference between pork cracklings and what we would call pork skins where I'm from in Mississippi. There's a lot more crackling and a lot more fat on these. They're really, really good. Man, that's good. Look at that. That's like the whole that's like the whole pork belly. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole pork belly with the crackling on it, pretty much. Or as we say in Mississippi, the rind. We just don't get cracklings like this anywhere but this part of Louisiana. Man, that's good. One of my favorite things in the world is a Boudin ball. It's just a handy way to eat Boudin. I like to break that thing open. I can already tell this is way different than the Boudin I've had before. It's a lot more seasoned, it looks like. It's darker. That's really good. God, that's good. A little spicier, a little more seasoning than some of the other boudin I've had. It looks like a little more paprika, a little more, some kind of pepper, I don't know. Finally, we have what they call the boudin wrap, which I really had to look at the menu because I saw egg rolls, right? I mean, that looks like an egg roll to me. But it is an egg roll paper. Inside it is boudin and pepper jack cheese. I think I'm gonna break this thing. It's not gonna break real easy. I'm just gonna take a bite out of it. I'm not sure how I feel about this. On the one hand, you don't need a cracker. It's a lot less messy to eat. These wrappers are great for everything. You can put anything in them and they're good. Eating it like this kind of reminds you almost of eating a hot tamale in the Delta. Same kind of spices and stuff. It's really interesting. It's totally different in this than the ball. I think I like the ball better, but this is still really good. You know, it's a good mix. If you're not into spicy food, this cuts the spice a little bit because you got the egg roll wrapper's not seasoned, obviously. So this might be, and driving down the highway may be a little bit easier to eat. It's an early morning in Lafayette, Louisiana, and there's traffic everywhere, and you can't get in and out of this place behind me. I'm at a crowd favorite. Everybody that I talked to said, go to Billy's Boudin. And I was kind of surprised by that. I expected to hear Best Stop mostly, and Billy's Boudin was the #1 place that people wanted me to go. But one of the things that caught my eye was a crawfish pistolette. I have one of those here, and then I got a regular boudin ball. I got one of those here, and these both look great. This is the crawfish pistolette. It's huge. We're gonna break right into this thing and see what it looks like. Huh. Definitely crawfish and rice in there. It's good. Dude, that fried bread around it is great. That was good. But I'm also saving room, since I don't eat a lot of breakfast, I'm saving room for the boudin ball. And it is, okay. That's beautiful. Oh, that smells good. I may like the crawfish pistolette better than the boudin ball. Boy, they're both good though. There's a nice heat. There's a lot of black pepper in this one. You know, it's funny because all the elements are there. No matter whose boudin I've tried down here, but I've been to all good places, right? And then they're all a little bit different. I feel like there's a lot more black pepper in this boudin than what I've had. And and the more you eat of this, the more I like it. Kind of like the pistolette. The first bite I wasn't sure, and the second bite I was really liking it, you know. What's different about this being fried bread, it's battered. So it's bread dough stuffed with a crawfish boudin, and then it's battered and fried. So it didn't look like bread. So the whole pistolette thing kind of threw me. But, you know, I've never thought about battering and frying bread. But fried bread here, they call it a pistolette.
What I learned most about Acadiana is how large and varied it is. You can't fit it all into one show. There's more to this place than rice and boudin. Isolation, the norm. Its culture, fluid like the murky water of the bayous and channels that divide Acadiana into small, separate worlds. That very water giving life and commerce, and also protecting traditions from an outside world that can't seem to get enough. I think that's a good thing. People like me, we tend to ruin places like this. On the one hand, I want to show the world, but again, I want to protect it. Another dichotomy. One thing's for sure, I will be back.
There's a man called Doc Mills and his pretty wife Hannah. Raise up the sun that could heat up his weight in groceries. They named him after the man of the cloth. They called him Amos Moses. Now the folks around South Louisiana said Amos was a hell of a man. He could trap the biggest, the meanest alligator, and he just used one hand.